Alright, we're here on Tabletop Simulator. Today we're going to play a game of Frostpunk. We are playing the creator scenario on a new home. I've already gone through the automated setup here, and having a look at the starting society card we've been drawn. We have 22 workers, 12 engineers and 8 children, no automatons, and nobody is sick. So that equates to 5 workers, 3 engineers and 2 child meeples for taking actions. We've got 2 discontent and 1 is active, and 2 hope, both of which are active. So taking a look at that, we have an active greed, we have an active motivation and an active care. We start with 8 food plus the map bonuses of 3 and 2, giving us 12 food, 4 wood and 5 coal. And overall that's a pretty strong start. On round 1 we only need to feed children, giving us a surplus of food at the moment, which is quite good. So in order to start off, we'll have a wee look at these laws available to us. Whenever you use a sawmill or war drill, gain an additional 1 wood. That's pretty good, especially the sawmill, considering we're going to have a lot of trees. We already have a lot of trees available to us at the moment. Whenever you use a coal thumper, gain 2 coal. That's pretty quick to develop as well, so that might be a good candidate. Just having a wee look at the coal thumper here. So that costs 3 wood. And what the coal thumper does is it distributes piles of coal on nearby spaces. So this could be a good choice to put somewhere up the end here, along with a gathering post somewhere in here to have a steady stream of coal coming in. Got the tracking techniques, gain food for each map tile depicting a food bonus. So at the moment we've got 2 map tiles with a food bonus, so that would gain us an additional 2 food per weather phase. And natural fertilizer. Whenever you use the hothouse with an engineer meeple, you may move the corpse marker backwards 1 space on the corpse track to gain an additional 3 food. Not really that great in my mind. We do start with 1 corpse here, but we kind of want to avoid that situation in any event. I'm thinking either the coal thumper here or the sawmill is a good choice. Might go with the coal thumper because it's pretty quick to develop, so I'm just going to put that there to remind myself when I build the workshop that this is the technology that we're focusing on. So our current social dispute card says if you have any active hope or discontent for your most common active token, or for all tied for most common, perform the corresponding effects. So for us we have an active greed, which will increase our hunger by 3. We have an active motivation, which allows us to take 1 resource from the map, place it in the supply, then for each active motivation take an additional resource, which is quite good. And we have an active care, which allows us to cure 2. So we want to make sure that we don't get any double ups here, and ideally maybe get rid of that greed if we can, although we do have a surplus of food at the moment. Although that situation can change rather quickly. So I need to flip over that card and shuffle that in. And of course in the new home scenario, the objective is to build a beacon initially before round 4. If we don't, we will get lots of discontent, and the scenario gets a little bit more difficult, I believe. So when you initially start the game, the first thing that you do is start on the action phase. So that allows us to straight away start taking some actions. Now I think, before we get started, I actually have to discard a card from my hand at the start of the game. So I think I'm going to get rid of this engineer. So this engineer, if I get rid of this engineer, I have to spend 1 coal. That's fine. I can live with that. Okay. So starting off, I think I'm going to take I'm going to take a remove snow action with a child and play this guy. And he allows me to reveal 3 far tiles and place each on either the top or bottom of the far tiles stack. Now, actually, that is instead of performing the remove snow action. So, in which case, I'm actually going to swap which one of these I discarded, because that is not as useful as I had hoped. So, in which case I need to get my coal back and instead spend a wood. Now this guy here, if I remove snow, I can perform the action as normal, except draw 3 far tiles and choose 1 to place. Place each of the other 2 on either the top or bottom of the far tiles stack. So let's do that to start with. So I place him and draw 3 far tiles. Okay, so I want this one with 4 trees, and I'm going to place it here, because this is a perfect spot for an upgraded sawmill to be able to get these trees. Even if I put an upgraded sawmill here, it could perform the same function. So I'm going to place this tile here. Now I can place these 2 either on top or on the bottom of the far tiles stack. 5 bonus food is pretty good. 3 coal and 2 trees is also not too bad. Might place this one on the bottom and that one on top, so that when I need to, I can put more trees down here. Now, taking the snow action is always cold, so we get 1 sick worker. Right. Moving on to the next action, we are going to continue to remove snow. I'm going to take that action with a worker again. Yep. So I'm going to get 1 more sick worker, and we're going to get 2 near tiles. This time we're going to place them here and here. So flipping those over, as such, we get wood. An additional wood here and some coal, and that makes this spot here particularly good for a gathering post. So we've done that action as well. I think we need to introduce a law. I'm going to go for child labour, which will allow me to gather resources with children, or use the gathering post with children, because that plays in well to the coal thumper if I get some gathering posts around this area. So I'm going to get one gathering post built here, and potentially a tent as well, but first some child labour. So let's take the engineer and introduce a law here. We want the child labour law, so take this card, put it up here in my law. That requires me to get rid of one hope and activate one discontent. So I'm going to get rid of motivation, I think. Yep. Get rid of motivation and add an additional discontent. And that also requires me to shuffle these consequence cards, take one at random, add it to the dust pile, and that makes child shelters become unavailable, like that. Okay, so I can now use children to gather resources. So I'm going to need to take advantage of that. Oh, sorry, in order to take this action without it being cold, I also need to add some coal to the generator. So at the moment I only need to spend one coal to ensure that this is a heated action, by raising it to this level, meaning red buildings and the generator tile in a ring are currently heated. So I can now use the children to gather some resources. So in which case I will send a child out to gather some wood from here, 2 wood from here. Step that up. I'll send another child over to here to gather 2 coal, both heated actions, so not getting sick. And then I've got 5 wood to work with to build. So I can make a gathering post, which I'm going to need. So the gathering post is going to go here. I can make a, so that's going to cost 1 wood. And then I think I can make a sawmill, which we're going to need, but will we need it right off the bat? Probably not. We can wait on the sawmill. I think we're going to need 2 tents to provide some shelter. Why is that doing that? Right, 2 tents, each at 2 wood to provide some shelter. I think is going to be important here, and the tents are going to go on the inner ring here so that they're easy to heat, because tents become quite a challenge to heat pretty quickly. So that's going to cost me 5 wood in total. So that has provided me shelter for 4 meeples, of which I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so that's made a small dent in the shelter requirements. I'm then going to need to increase the heating just a little. So we'll increase the heating by 1, which will allow us to use tiles within this range. And I'm going to place a worker onto the gathering post. Now that allows me to take 1 resource from every adjacent tile. So we can go, actually before I do that, I'm going to use an engineer to clear some snow, and thankfully we know what this tile is going to be. So this tile is going to go up here, flip it over, and it's the trees and coal that we had earlier. So we're going to place trees here and some coal. 2, 3 coal. And place them there. So now when I take a gathering post action, it's going to be more efficient. Yes, so the gathering post allows me to take one resource from each adjacent space. And so spaces adjacent to a tile are considered adjacent. So this is adjacent, even up here is adjacent because it is on a tile that is adjacent to this tile. So that makes this a very efficient action here. I'm then going to spend, sorry, that engineer needs to get sick. I'm going to spend another engineer clearing more snow, and we're going to clear up here because I want plenty of space to work here. So we've got 1 steam core and 2 more trees. Plenty of trees. That makes my other engineer sick. Right, so we've got plenty of space to work with here. Now I'm going to go with a worker. We're going to put him on this gathering post, and that's going to allow me to go 1 wood, 1 coal, another wood, 1 steam core, 1 coal, and 1 more coal. That's going to allow us to take all those resources in a single action, which is exactly what we need. Alright, so looking at the map, we still want to be placing our sawmill here and upgrading it at a later date. And we've cleared up a bit of space here for building as well. Okay, so that gives us 2 final actions, and I think we, on the next turn we need to build a sawmill, which is 2 wood. We also need to build a hothouse. We need to get food going, which is 4 wood. And we need to build a medical post because we're going to be having issues with sickness pretty soon. So we're going to need a total of 8 wood on our next turn, which means I need to focus on collecting wood on this turn. But in order to do that effectively, I need to continue to reveal more tiles. So I'm going to draw 2 new near tiles here and here. And once again we have a lot of trees. Lots and lots of trees. We have gained 3 food, sorry, from here. And there's some coal up here as well. Not particularly what I was going for. I was hoping more for some wood to be hanging around here. And I get 1 more sick worker. Right, so we have 1 final action. Now, if I take the gathering post next turn, we are going to collect 2 wood. I can collect another 2 wood from there, which will get me to 7 wood, which is not enough for next turn to take the build actions that I want. Which means that I'm going to have to bite the bullet and forcibly place a worker here to collect the wood that I want, so that next turn I can have a the right amount of wood to complete this action. What is happening here? Right. So I'll go there and take that wood. Alright, so that takes us to the end of the action phase. After the action phase, we need to resolve and reveal and resolve a dusk card. So take the top one here. Right. Says the children are now exposed to accidents at work. If we don't provide good medical care, some might even pay the price with their lives. If you have active care, for each child meeple used to perform an action this round, gain 1 sick child. Otherwise, for each child meeple used to perform an action this round, gain 2 sick children. Well, I think we have active care. Yes, we do. Alright, so we just gain 2 sick children. Okay, that could have been worse. And that just stays in the discard until we resolve a social dispute, and then this will actually get shuffled back in because this does not have a discard icon on it. Right, so after that, hunger phase. Decrease hunger by spending food. Now we don't have any hunger, which is good. We need to then feed citizens, so we need to feed the children. There are 8 children and we have 15 food, meaning we will be left with 7 food and our hunger remains at 0. Return the citizen tokens and figure out how many don't have a place to sleep. So let's see, got some workers here, children here, and an engineer there. So if we take these, take these, put them back, put the engineers back, and put all the workers back. Right, we have places for 4 people, which means that a lot of people are going to get sick. We're going to get 3 sick workers, 1 sick engineer, and 2 sick children, I think. 1, 2, 3, 2, no, 1 sick engineer, 2 sick children. Yes, it's going to be a problem. We're definitely going to need to treat people soon, so need to move the round marker up 1. We don't have any scenario triggers. We need to reveal a morning card, so let's shuffle that. Right, refugees. Faces that were once distinct are now bleak with exhaustion. Will we feed that flicker of hope still visible in their eyes? Let them enter the city. Gain 3 workers, 2 engineers, and 1 child. Increase hunger by 5. If you have care, +1 hope. If you have greed, +1 discontent. Or send them away. Exhaust all hope. Okay, so I think we're going to have to take them in. So let's see. So 3 workers. 1, 2, 3 makes that 25. Which doesn't give us another meeple. 2 engineers does not give us another meeple. And neither does 1 child. So that's going to increase our hunger requirements quite significantly without actually giving us any additional actions. It's a bit of a pain. But it does give us +1 hope because we have a care marker. But we also do have a greed, which will give us a discontent as well. I think I might actually have to send them away, which will exhaust my care, which is not good. No, I think we're going to have to take them. So we get 5 hunger. We gain 3 workers, 2 engineers, and 1 child. 1 child, 2 engineers and 3 workers. And this is exactly not what you don't want to happen. Gaining more population without gaining additional meeples. That's going to make things difficult. However, we will get 1 additional hope and 1 additional discontent. And discard this card. Alrighty. So after the morning phase, generator phase. So I need to determine if we're going to get any sick people from failing to heat properly. We will gain 1 sick worker, so I might just increase the heating by 1. We have enough coal for that, which means I need to put 3 stress cubes based on this icon here into the bag, and then I need to roll this dice and hope for a low number. 2. Okay, so we got 2 stress cubes on the generator malfunction track. Right, we got to the weather phase next. So revealing this card, we get temperature goes colder, the yellow range gets more difficult to heat. We gain 1 food per deer icon, but we do not have any hunters' huts. Expedition moves forward 2, but we don't have a current active expedition, and the storm moves closer by 2, which is terrible to get at the start, because we don't even have enough shelters for our people, and already it's going to be a problem. Okay, after the weather phase, we can now choose to use an advisor. We don't have any active motivation, so I cannot use my advisor. Resolve the sickness markers effects. Okay, so that needs to flip. We now have 1 critically ill worker. And then we need to perform actions. So we need to focus on some food this round, and we also need to build we wanted to build the hothouse, we wanted to build the sawmill, and we wanted to build the medical post. So we need to focus on getting those up and running. And then only after that, perhaps we could look at building some more shelters. So first things first, I'm going to use my children to perform some collections. I'm going to send them here to get 2 coal. And before I do that, I need to increase the heating, so that needs to be reset. The heating needs to be at least there, so that requires me to spend 1 coal. I'm going to spend the other child to go over here and collect 2 wood. And then I'm going to spend a worker to go over here to the gathering post. So I need to increase the heat by 2 so that the second zone is heated. So that will require me to spend 2 more coal on heating. But that means I can take that coal, that wood, and that coal, and a coal from here as well. So we can put these over in the supply. And if my quick maths earlier was correct, that should leave us with 8 wood to perform the building actions that we want to do this round. So we will need to build a hothouse. on there. So that's 4 wood and a steam core. We will need to build a sawmill. We'll need to build a sawmill, and we will need to build a medical post. So the hothouse can go here. The sawmill is going to go here, and the medical post, of which we do not have a great spot for this just yet. Ideally we want this close because it's difficult to heat, but we don't want to be putting it on a double tile at the moment. We also want to leave this area clear to set up our coal thumper without having to demolish this gathering post. So the medical post can go either here or here. I think I'm going to put it here for the meantime. Right, so that's going to cost us all of our wood, and it's going to cost us steam core. But that's going to allow us to then go and put 2 workers into the hothouse, because this has 2 spaces. It has an upper space and a lower space, meaning that we gain 14 food on top of our 7, taking us to 21 food. Should keep that under control for a little while. And just having a look at the other side of the hothouse, right, so that increases the insulation as well as increasing the yield. That's pretty good. We also want to be sending a worker up here to continue to get wood. Now that is a heated action because the orange buildings are currently heated, so I can remove a tree. I can remove a tree and gain 3 wood. It's good. Alright, so we're doing pretty well at the moment. We just need to get some shelters running. Now I can't build shelters here or here at the moment because you can't build over top of a meeple. So that means that our tents are going to have to go further out, which means that they either need to be bunkhouses for better insulation or easier heating, which makes them more expensive. However, it might still be the way to go. We can build 1 at the moment, which kind of covers a few of our needs. While I contemplate that, let's send an engineer up to this medical post, which is currently heated, yes, to treat some people. We need to treat 2 workers and 1 child, just to keep them below this threshold, otherwise a worker's going to die. And just having a quick look here at what cards I have, and I might use this card while I'm at it. This allows me to perform the building's cure effect as normal, plus treat 1, and treating allows you to cure 3 or treat 1. Yeah, so treating allows you to flip a token over, so that makes that no longer critically ill. So I'm going to perform the following actions. I am going to introduce a law with the engineer using this tile here, and I am going to introduce the shared knowledge law, which says you may use worker meeples to use workshop buildings, and whenever you use an engineer meeple to perform the construct action, you may use 2 construct sub actions to upgrade a building by paying its upgrade cost. Which is pretty good. So let's take that, and more importantly this actually gives some hope. So we'll put that there. as my second law, so I can gain some hope, gain a hope token, and I can take one of these cards, add it into my dusk pile, shuffle that. Right, so the next action I'm going to take is I'm going to put a worker onto the cookhouse. I've actually got a card for this. Got a card for this card here. Spend 4 food, draw 1 hope token and activate it, or discard 1 active discontent. Discarding an active discontent seems pretty strong to me. So I'm going to play that, and we are going to spend 4 food. 1, 2, 3, 4 to discard 1 active discontent. It's pretty good. And that is a heated action. So the final action we're going to take is to build the engineer here, and we are going to build the another sawmill because we need to keep that wood production going. So that's going to cost 2 wood. It's going to go here, and after the sawmill we are going to build another workshop. Not another workshop, we're going to build a workshop. I'm going to put it out here on the outskirts. Because it's red installation. So when I build that, I can take this development token and I can start having it prepare. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So 3 away from the current round. Because I'm going to build coal thumpers soon, I'm going to put a coal thumper here. Hopefully once these areas are clear, I can dismantle nearby buildings here and here. Once these trees are gone, I can dismantle this, and then the coal thumper can deposit here, here, and here, and be gathered by this gathering post. Okay, and that's going to cost me 3 wood to build those buildings, and I still have 1 action remaining, which I could use for a dismantle, but I do not want to perform any dismantling at the moment. So that takes us on from the action phase to the dusk phase, which I need to check the scenario and event display, which we don't have any, and I need to reveal and resolve a dusk card. So I'm not sure whether I shuffled this, but we'll do it again just in case. Social equality. How people feel harmony in the way our society functions. Formerly present social divisions are now forgotten, and our joint efforts benefit all. Choose 1. Upgrade a small building for free, even if that building has been used this round, or activate 1 hope. Alright, so a small building upgrade is going to save me a lot of time. This sawmill needs to be upgraded pretty severely because it's going to be cutting these trees and all of these trees eventually, so that's pretty important. An upgrade to this medical post would be pretty important as well. Medical post is going to cost me 2 wood to upgrade, so will a sawmill. They're both of equal cost. The medical post will allow me to treat 4, which is relatively important at the moment because I'm getting quite a few sick people from not having enough housing. I just can't go past how useful gathering post, sawmill. I think I'm going to upgrade the medical post. It's more important in the short term that this is upgraded immediately for next round, rather than having these sawmills be upgraded now, because there are still trees close enough for them to continue to function. And remarkably, this card actually does not get discarded. So, by the looks of it, I just keep shuffling this back into my dusk deck. So between this... Oh, no, that's bad. Okay, well, we've got one nice card in our dusk deck, which is a nice feeling. Okay, so we go to the hunger phase. Decrease hunger by spending food. So my hunger is currently 5. So if I reduce 17 by 5, I go to 12. And then I need to feed some of the population. Normally I would resolve the hunger marker if there was still hunger, but there's no hunger at the moment. So I need to feed engineers, which there are 14 of, and I have 12 food. So my hunger goes to 2. It is now the night phase, so I need to take all the meeples back, and there's this handy button that I just realized, which I can click to retrieve all meeples at once. Oh, that's handy. So I've only got 4 places for meeples to currently sleep. And having a look at my sickness, I probably need to house some children and some workers, some engineers. That means we're going to get 5 sick workers and 1 sick engineer. 1 sick engineer and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sick workers. So I'm going to need to treat them pretty urgently next round. Thankfully, we've upgraded the medical post, which will help slightly. Okay, after that, we need to move the round marker and reveal and resolve a morning card. So these seem to never be very nice to me, but let's see how we go. New project. One of our engineers has an idea that may help us provide more food each day for the city. He needs some resources, but perhaps it would prove worth the investment. Give him what he needs. Place this card in the event display. Each time you perform this action, take 1 wood from the supply and place it on this card. There is no engineer on this card during the dusk phase, +1 apathy. If there is 2 wood on this card, add D30 to the dusk deck. Or, we can't afford to spend our valuable supplies on something so uncertain. Well, let's see. My workers can use the workshop due to shared knowledge. And I need my engineers really only for the medical post at the moment, perhaps a second medical post. So we can probably afford 1 engineer for this, although can we afford the wood? Potentially not. Because this round, before next round, we have to build the beacon, which is 3 wood, so that we will get 6 wood next round from the 2 sawmills. 7 wood. 8 wood. We will get 8 wood next round. So we're going to need to build the beacon, definitely. And what else we build really depends on many factors at the moment here. We are going to build a coal thumper as well, so that's 3 wood, so that's 6 wood in total, leaving me with 2 left, which will probably go towards another medical post, which means we can't really afford to do this. So I'm just going to take 1 discontent. I think I need to shuffle this and discard this card. Okay. After that, we are going to fuel the generator, gain 6 citizens, and check for malfunction. So we're currently gaining 1 additional sick worker, which I don't want to do, 1 sick engineer, which I don't want to do because that'll put him into this area here. And I don't believe we have tested sickness marker effects. No, not yet. It's after this. So I'm going to spend 1 additional coal to increase the fuel, increase the generator heat level. Right, so again, no additional 6 citizens. Oh, I forgot to do my... Oh no, I did my 6 citizens from sleeping, yes. Drop coal into the generator tower, yes. Place cubes, okay, yep. So we need to put 3 stress cubes into the bag here. I need to roll these dice, hope for a small number, just 2, that's pretty good. And reset the heat marker there. Reveal the weather card, okay. So these are not really doing anything for us at the moment, aside from making the game more difficult. Everything gets colder. We gain no additional food, I believe. We don't have any hunters' huts. We don't have any active expeditions, but thankfully the storm doesn't continue to advance on us rapidly. So that's not too bad. That could be worse. Right, so moving on from that, we have the preparation phase. So I could use my advisor if I had motivation to place some additional tiles. Now that could be pretty handy. So near tiles I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left. So using the foreman to place one of these could be pretty handy. I might need to consider getting some motivation for that. I need to resolve my sickness markers now, so this sick worker now needs to become gravely ill. And after that it is now back around to the action phase, so we get to go again. Right, so this round I'm going to build the beacon because it must be done by the end of next round in order for us to pass this scenario card. I'm going to build a coal thumper to ensure that we've got a constant source of coal coming in. That's going to be combined initially with this gathering post. And I'm also going to build another medical post because we need to continue to treat our sick citizens. So first things I need to do here is consider using this shared knowledge because when I construct I can upgrade, so I need to think about making best use of that. Now I'm actually going to be performing 3 construct actions here, so it may actually not be that worthwhile to do just yet. So in which case we probably need to just clear out some space. So a coal thumper is going here. I can place a meeple onto this gathering post. Thankfully, we can use a worker, although we can use a child as well. Just place a worker onto this gathering post to take this wood and this coal, which frees us up some space. Now, normally that would be a cold action, so I need to increase some heating. We're going to need the heating to be at least up here, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4 coal. 2, 3, 4. Leaving us with 5 coal remaining. So that's a heated action for the gathering post there. So now I can, now my orange buildings are heated. That's good. So we can start collecting some wood. So we're going to send a worker onto this sawmill and a worker onto this sawmill. So I'm going to remove one tree here, oop, one tree here and one tree here, and that's going to give us 6 wood. That's good. Going to send a child here to collect this wood, and another child here to collect this coal, and give us some spaces here for building. Actually, no, I'm going to return this coal. I'm going to send this child up here to collect this coal. 2 coal. Okay. Right, so we have 2 workers left and 3 engineers. Now we need to perform a medical post. We need food because we must feed workers next round. Yep, so we need to use the medical post. We need 2 for food. And then we most likely are going to need to perform a build action, which leaves us with 1 engineer remaining, which could potentially use the other medical post that we end up building to get our sickness levels under control. So 2 workers to the hothouse for 14 food. I don't know whether I should perhaps perform an upgrade on that. I can't perform an upgrade on that. I do not have any steam cores. Okay. So that's going to take us up to 14 food, which is not going to make a huge impact on feeding 25 workers, but it's better than nothing. Right, we're then going to perform an medical post, and we're going to reduce 2, 3, 4, reduce that by 4, and we're going to perform a build action, and we're going to build the beacon. We're going to build the beacon, we're going to build a coal thumper. So the coal thumper is the easiest because I know where I need to put that. I need to put that there, and that costs 3 wood. I need to build an infirmary, or a medical post, sorry. I need to build a medical post. Now this can be upgraded to a red building relatively easily, so I'm just going to put it somewhere where we can handle that task without too much hassle. There's a wood wall drill could go there. Let's see. Medical post, yellow medical post can go here. That's fine. And then that costs 2 wood. Then we have the hard decision of trying to figure out where to put the beacon, and unfortunately we're going to have to destroy some resources here because we are out of real estate. So I think that the beacon will need to go, unfortunately, here. Mostly because, I mean, it would be nice to place it on the outside because it doesn't require heating, but I need these trees, and these trees potentially as a backup. So I think this is the best choice for this location. So if you build over top of resources, they need to be destroyed. It's quite difficult to place them in here. This is okay. Okay. So we will build the beacon here. Okay, so that requires the remainder of my wood. Right. So I have one engineer remaining, and I think that engineer was going to continue to treat 6 citizens. So I think this engineer needs to go on this medical post, and I need to take this back by 3. Yes. Alright, so that is my action phase complete. Taking a look here, I now need to continue on with the dusk phase. So I must reveal and resolve a dusk card, and it's our social dispute. If you have any active hope or discontent, for your most common active token, form the corresponding effect. So we have active care, so I can cure 2. Perfect. That's going to really help us this round. So I'm going to go 1, I'm going to cure 1 engineer, and I'm going to cure 1 child. Good. No, I'm going to cure 1 engineer, and I'm going to cure 1 more worker. Okay. Let's see. So after the social dispute, right, so I need to take this social dispute out of the game. I need to add this one. So if you have more active hope than active discontent, choose 1. Remove 4 stress from the stress track. Upgrade 1 small building for free. Otherwise, choose 1. Lose 2 workers, 2 engineers and 1 child. Replace 3 stress cubes. Okay. So I need to add this into this file. And when you add a new social dispute, you shuffle the dusk discard pile back into the dusk deck. So it's the hunger phase now, so I need to add 1 first I need to decrease my food by 2 to decrease my hunger by 2. Great. Then I need to feed the citizens of the current round. So that's workers. So that's 25 workers, and I have 12 food, meaning that they're going to eat all that, and I'm going to have 13 hunger. Then it is the night phase, so I can click on this handy button, and I still only have 4 places to sleep. So we are going to get 1 child and 2 engineers and 1 worker. So that means we're going to get 1 sick child, 1 sick engineer, and 4 sick workers. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, that is unfortunate. That is not what we want. So actually we might add 1 worker in here and kick out 1 engineer. So they're only going to go there, they're going to go up to there, which means that these will flip, but it does mean that a worker won't die because he's no longer in this danger zone. Okay. Right, so we need to move the round marker, and we now resolve a scenario card. So it is round 4. So if the beacon is built, go to A, otherwise go to B. Okay, so the beacon shines bright, +1 hope or -1 discontent. Reveal and resolve SO2. So the beacon is built. Yes, it is. So we can remove a discontent. Ooh, get in there. And we reveal and resolve SO2. Beacons like guided refugees scattered across the frozen wasteland to our settlement. Amongst them were scouts from Winterhome. As it turns out, it is the nearest occupied settlement. However, the news they brought is alarming. They say no other beacons were lit, not even the one at Winterhome. What has happened to Winterhome? Right. Place SO5 white side up in the expedition display. Choose A or B. Let the refugees enter our city. Gain 5 workers, 1 engineer and 3 children. So that will give me 3 additional meeples. Because I'm at the precipice for each of these. However, it's going to severely increase my requirements for housing. But we might do it anyway, and I just have a very strong focus on housing this round, I think. We're going to have to get pretty serious about building houses. So yeah, let's do it. We're going to gain 1 hope. I'm going to gain motivation. And I'm going to gain 1 engineer, taking me to 15, which gives me an additional meeple. I'm going to gain 5 workers, taking me to 30, which gives me an additional meeple. And I'm going to gain 3 children, taking me to 3, which gives me an additional meeple. Alright. Okay. And we've gained the hope. Great. So that makes that card get destroyed. I need to find SO5, which is this one. Add it to the display. Now this is just a big path here that we need to send some people on. Alright. After the morning phase, it is the generator phase. So we need to increase the fuel by 1 so that we don't get our workers any more sick. Oh, no, it's all the way up here, sorry. So we need another 2 if we don't want people getting more sick, and we're going to have to do it because we've got quite a lot of sick going on here. Right, so that makes that warm enough. We need to add 4 cubes into the generator bag. And we need to roll this dice. Oof. All 6 come out. Okay, so we need to perform generator maintenance. Big time. Okay. Right. Make some note of that. Thankfully it didn't malfunction, but that was pretty close. It's about as close as it could be. Okay. Reveal the weather card. Rightio. Right. The extreme temperature goes up. The high temperature goes up. And the storm gets next turn. Right, which means that our tents are going to become useless. However, we can use Christina here to build over ruins, allowing the buildings to cost 1 fewer wood. So that means we can build bunk houses over top of ruins for only 2 wood per. But having a lot of wood is going to be really important. It is now the preparation phase where I can use an advisor. So I am going to use my foreman advisor because I have activated a motivation tile. So I can exhaust motivation and place a near tile. So we're going to do that. I'm going to place a near tile here. Going to flip it over. Right, so there's just some wood on this tile, but that's not so bad. Helps me get closer to here so that I can build a wall drill, which is going to be extremely important. Okay, so I've played my foreman advisor there. which takes us right back around to the action phase at the start of turn 4. So I need to send people on expeditions. I need to repair my generator, which is very close to malfunction, and I need to do a strong focus on building places for people to sleep, because next turn all of my tents will become ruins. So generator, housing, and wood. Yes, indeed. Okay, so we're going to have to be careful about how we go about this one. We need to get our heating up to here, which means we need at least 5 coal. So looking at this, I only have 4 coal, so taking some of these back as I was just testing them out, we need to first go here for 1 coal, but before going there we need to heat at least to here, so that's 2 coal to heat at least that far. Right, leaving us with 3 coal. After we've placed that, we then should send a worker to chop some trees. Now that's an orange building, so I need to increase my heating again. So I'm going to drop another coal. That's going to take out a tree and give me 3 wood. Oh, come on, get in there. 3 wood. Right, then I need to send another worker over to this other sawmill, chop the final tree over here, and that's going to give me another 3 wood. Right, after that I'm going to need to bump up the heating even further, because I need to send my children out to some of these tile locations. So we need the heating to be at least there, which is my final 2 coal. So that becomes a priority. So that gives me a steam core, which is quite nice. My other child will go here to give me 2 additional wood, bringing me to 8 wood. Right, next thing I'm going to do is send an engineer over to the workshop here. I'm going to advance my development token onto the current round, which means that we have finished this technology. Now what I'm going to do is actually just put this development token here by my coal thumper, because what we've developed is this here. Whenever you use the coal thumper, gain 2 coal. So we need to get that going before we use the coal thumper, so that we are gaining that immediate benefit. So that's one of my actions, because that only needed to move 1. So I can actually perform an upgrade here as well. I think the thing we need to upgrade next is either the beacon or the medical post. Now we kind of need to build a wall drill pretty pronto to continue to reliably develop some wood. However, I could upgrade this sawmill and this sawmill to continue to get wood as well. So we might actually upgrade our beacon here, which will allow us to have 2 concurrent expeditions, which actually increases some of my housing issues. Or should I say decreases some of my housing issues. So to do a coal thumper, we need 1 steam core. To upgrade our beacon, we need 1 steam core. So that will be the upgrade that we perform. Now, continuing to focus on our immediate needs, let's get 2 workers on expeditions. I need to send a worker on the Winterhome expedition, and I need to send one of them on one of these 2 here for resources. So let's go with that one there and hope that it's food or something. I then need to put a worker onto the coal thumper, which thankfully immediately generates me 2 coal and allows me to put a deposit of 3 coal on up to 3 adjacent spaces to the coal thumper. So we'll put 3 there, and I will put 3 down here. We'll then get one of our workers onto the gathering post to take 2 coal. It's not great, but that will improve when we remove this sawmill. It gives us a little bit of coal to work with for the start of the next round. Not a lot, and it's probably going to get colder because the storm's hitting, but it's better than not having any coal. Right, then I don't have a lot of choice but to use the hothouse. If we don't continue to bring in food, we're going to be in lots of trouble. So that's 14 food from the hothouse, leaving me with 1 engineer. This engineer is going to conduct a build action, so I've got to keep that infrastructure coming in, and I really need more land here. My infrastructure constraints are becoming pretty serious. So what we're going to build here is a sawmill for 2 wood up here to sort of front foot that requirement. I need to free up this space, so I'm going to do, deconstruct this sawmill shortly so that the coal thumper can deposit coal here. So we'll get a sawmill up here, and I'm going to build 2 bunkhouses. So that's 6 wood for the bunkhouses and 2 wood for the sawmill, meaning that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all of this wood is being used. So I'm going to get a bunkhouse here, and we're going to get a bunkhouse here, and that's going to at least somewhat take care of our meeple sleeping requirements. Well, not by a heck of a lot, but you know, not by the worst margin either. So we then need to continue on to the cleanup from this round by moving into the dusk phase. Right, so during this dusk phase I need to shuffle up this and draw a card. Social equity. Upgrade a small building for free, even if that building has been used this round, or activate 1 hope. Oh, thank you. That is the greatest law I have ever chosen to introduce. Okay, so that's really going to help me out here. Upgrade a small building. Not that sawmill. That sawmill is a strong candidate. I think it's going to have to be this sawmill here with the free upgrade. Ooh, that would make the gathering post have increased heating, although the gathering post is very easy to upgrade. Same amount as the sawmill actually. What's more important? Sawmill for some wood, or gathering post in case I need to continue to get that coal even when it's really chilly. I think potentially actually the sawmill might have to wait 1 more round while we upgrade that gathering post, so that it's red, so that I can continue to easily collect that coal without risking additional sick people. Although upgrading this sawmill becomes pretty high priority on the near future. Right, so after the dusk phase, decrease hunger by spending food, resolve and reset the hunger marker, and feed citizens based on the current round. So hunger goes to 0, leaving me with 1 measly food. Very good. It is currently time to feed children. I have 12 children, which means that my hunger will be 11 because I can afford to feed 1 child. I have 1 piece of stale bread. It's first in, first served. I might even have them, you know, perform some juggling for it or something. Rightio, let's see what's after that. Night phase. return the citizen tokens, lay down the meeples. Right, okay, so what I want to know is if I push this button, does it return? Oh, it doesn't return them from the expeditions. Whoever programmed this, you were very clever. Alright, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 places to sleep, which is a whole lot better than I had before. Let's see, what can I afford to get sick? I can kind of afford to have children and workers get sick, but sorry, children and engineers, yeah. I've got 8. Alright, so I need to pick 3 to get sick. So let's pick 1 child and 2 engineers to get sick. Because if I put those here, that leaves me with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That leaves me with 8. Which is just enough I have to house. So we're going to go with 2 sick engineers and 1 sick child. And that's going to make them all gravely ill, so that's actually probably a bad idea. We're going to have to go with it, I think. I'm just going to have to get these tokens back under this threshold ASAP. Because if I put the worker up into this threshold, the worker's going to die. Okay, so let's see. I need to do sawmill upgrade, and I need to focus on sick workers. Okay, just need to, it's always good to jot notes as you go through this so that you know what your priorities are for the next round. I forgot to perform this action. Oh no. So that means our generator is going to malfunction, which means it's going to be extremely hard for me to keep the heating requirements up. Oh, that is a major blunder and will probably cost me this game, but we will continue on and see if we can't manage to power through it. Alright, so I have completed the night phase. We are going to move the round marker, which means that we've now hit the storm, which means I need to flip this storm card over. If it is round 7 or earlier, go to 1. We were hit by heavy snowfall. Flip all tents to their ruined side. Place the storm marker on round 12. Okay, that's not so bad. Storm marker on round 12. Oops, sorry, that is the round marker. Storm marker on round 12. Round marker round 5. So I need to flip the tents to their ruined side. Ruins, ruins. Thankfully I only have 2 tents there. And remove the storm marker from the game. Okay, right. So, okay, right. So the second time this happens, it's going to freeze my bunkhouses. Okay, alright. That's not so bad. Let's see. We need to reveal and resolve a mourning card. So, the mourning phase. Reveal and resolve a mourning card. Right, let's see, what have we got here? A need for warmth. Nighttime should be for resting both the body and the mind. This doesn't seem possible for many of our citizens. They fear the cold, the kiss of frost. Could we spare some fuel to keep them warm if need be? Promise there will be enough supplies for every household and those in need. +1 justice. Add D10 to the dusk deck. We will prepare emergency supplies only for those in greatest need. Add D11 to the dusk deck. Ignore this demand. Well, I got a feeling we're not going to be able to meet the warmth costs due to the upcoming increase in cold from the malfunction generator. So I'm going to ignore this demand and gain 1 discontent. Alright. After the morning phase, we need to sort out the generator. So we've had a malfunction. So after a malfunction, we need to perform the following orders. We need to flip the heat marker over to the malfunction side. We need to advance the cold marker one space on the heat track, and all 3 heat range indicators increase by 1. All stress cubes go back into the bag, which is terrible, because if there's more than 10 stress cubes in this bag, then you need to take the higher number when rolling this dice. The second time the generator breaks down, I lose the game. So even if I had 2 in here or 3 in here and rolled a high number, it's immediately game over, which is pretty likely. Okay, so continuing on from there, I need to gain some sick people from the generator phase. We are going to get... I think I might have... Oh no. Yep, right. So some sick people from the generator phase. We are going to get... Ooh. I think this was here. Yeah. Oh. Hold on. Let me check the generator phase. Gain 6 citizens. Drop call. Right. Yeah. Okay. So... So regardless of how many I pulled, it would have caused a malfunction, which then causes it to be reset from the malfunction. Okay, so I didn't actually need to pull anything out that time. And sick people, we are going to get 1 engineer and 1 worker. Oops, sorry, 1 engineer and 1 child. Yeah, that's correct. Alright, so now it's the weather phase. To reveal a weather card. Oh, and of course it's even colder all round. So that goes up and that goes up. Fantastic. Right, all expeditions go up by 3. 1, 2, 3. Right, so that resolves. 1, 2, 3. So I need to flip over this. Mushroom Kingdom. We knew something smelled funny as we entered the cave. To our surprise, we stumbled into the most captivating farm imaginable. 2 men, whose corpses we found covered in mushrooms, had somehow obtained a steam core and used its warmth and the steam to create a fungiculture. Some of the mushrooms must have been hallucinogenic, as it seemed the 2 corpses were dressed in red and green. So I'm going to send them straight back and get 3 food and a steam core. So I need to discard this card and draw a new A expedition. So I get 3 food, 1, 2, 3, and 1 steam core. Perfect. Alright, that's at least some good news. And I advanced 3 on the winter home track as well. Right. And the storm moves closer by 1. Whoa, that is the wrong thing. Okay. After the weather phase, I can use an advisor. I can't use my advisor because we have no motivation, but I need to do sickness marker effects. So that and that flip. So now everybody is gravely ill. And we go back round to the action phase at the top of round 5. Yep. Alrighty. Let's see here. What do we have? So I am going to start by first placing a child onto this gathering post. Now that needs me to increase the heat by at at least, well, this much, but I'm going to increase it up to here. That is with a total of 4 coal, which is everything I have. That's going to allow me to get 2 additional coal, and I'm going to immediately spend at least one of those so that I can use orange buildings without getting sick. Right, so then after that we are going to use some of the sawmills. We're going to use a sawmill here, and we're going to take this final tree with that. That's going to give us 3 wood. And we are going to use this sawmill here, this tree. Ooh. Okay, forget about it. That's another 3 wood. Right. Okay, we need to upgrade these tents. So I'm going to take a build action, and I'm going to replace these tents with houses, I think. And I'm going to perform a dismantle on this sawmill. So we'll put the sawmill back here, and I'm going to play, oops, sorry, I need to use an engineer for this action, so that I can play this card. Build over top of ruins. Perform this action as normal, except you may build over ruins, remove the ruins from the game. Each of these buildings cost 1 fewer wood. So both of these will now become 2 houses. So let's put a tent back there, and we'll put a house here and here for 6 wood. Okay. It's making us a slight amount of progress, so now we need to decide what to do with everybody else. It is not hot enough at the moment to be able to send people to simply collect coal. However, I could go to the coal thumper for some more coal. We do need to keep coal production high. What I need to do is send another worker on an expedition again. I'm going to send a worker over onto this expedition. Need to keep those ticking along, and I need to spend 2 engineers here and here on the medical posts. Now I cannot use this medical post at the moment because it is cold. So before I do that, I might want to consider performing an upgrade action for the medical post. However, I'm going to need more wood to do that, which I cannot currently get more wood. To upgrade a medical post only costs 1 wood, which is pretty doable, but I do need more wood than that. Right, I'm going to spend, I only have 1 coal left. Alright, need more coal. Need to send an engineer then. Engineer? No, need to send a worker to the coal thumper. So that immediately generates me 2 coal. And I can put piles of coal onto the board. I can put coal here. I can put coal here, and I can put coal So I can now spend 2 coal to increase the heating up to there. Which means that I can now safely send my children here to collect coal and here to collect wood. Right, that is getting us somewhere along the way. Let's see, we are going to need food. Going to need to get food, and we need to treat the sick. So we're going to need to use the medical posts, this one and this one, allowing for 7 treatments in total. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Probably not going to be enough to really keep the sickness at bay there. Kind of feels like we're just staying afloat though, we're not really getting anywhere here. Let's see, if I gain 7 food, that's going to put us on 10 food, which means we'll gain a discontent from not being able to feed the amount of workers, which is a shame. I think I'm going to have to do that. Because we need to continue to expand our infrastructure here. We need more buildings. And to do that we really need more wood. So I'm going to go with an engineer and I'm going to clear snow. We're going to get a far tile up here. That has 1 steam core and 2 trees. This is a wall resource of wood, so I can build a wall drill here. This is going to make one of my engineers sick. And then from that I'm going to send my last worker to get some food. 7 food, bringing it to 10 food. Okay, that's the end of that round, but I think we're on the decline here now. We're not really gaining any progress, we are only staying afloat. So, going over to the dusk phase, we need to reveal and resolve a dusk card and just hope that it's something friendly. Oh no. All the gravely sick die. Okay, so 1 engineer has died, 1 child has died, and 1 worker has died. And that's probably going to be the end. So flipping over these cards, we have, if we just do them in order, let's just say we've got child, worker, engineer. So we've got -2 hope, -1 hope, exhaust justice, -1 hope. So that is going to leave us with 1 hope. Because on one of these -1 hope ones, I can just exhaust a hope. So that doesn't actually kill us, but very, very close. Right, what else we got here? For each corpse you have, gain 1 sick citizen. Well, I have 1 corpse, so I guess I'm getting a sick worker as well. Now I've had 3 deaths, so I need to reduce my population levels. Worker by 1, child by 1, engineer by 1. So that also causes me to lose an engineer meeple, which is unfortunate. Okay. And I believe we need to gain a whole bunch more corpses. 1, 2, 3, 4 corpses. Alright. Hunger phase. So that's going to eat up all of our food and increase our hunger by 1. Put our hunger on 1. And we need to feed the engineers, which are currently at 14, making us have... I need to resolve this first. So we gain 1 discontent. I'm going to have to flip over one of these. I will flip over apathy. And then that gives us 14 hunger. Moving on, we've got the night phase, so I need to return the meeples. And I have places for 8 citizens that are currently heated, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I need to choose 2 to get sick. And we're just going to increase the workers by 2, I believe. Yep. Everybody else has somewhere to stay. That's fine. Move the round marker to round 6. Reveal and resolve a mourning card. Now this will probably be the end of us. Relentless rats. How on earth did they breed so fast? Our settlement is overrun with swarms of vicious rats. We can't let them roam. It's time for some ratatouille. We have to catch them all. Gain 5 food. Add D54 to the dusk deck. Let's put out some strychnine, or else it's 1665 all over again. Place 1 spent worker token in the supply. Does anyone have a small but vicious dog? Rat catchers rejoice. There will be a reward for each rat tail. -1 discontent. Add D55 to the dusk deck. Ugh. I do not like any of these choices. I'm going to gain 5 food. Probably going to cause me to get rabies due to eating these rats or something like that, but we are in a dire situation. So D10. You'll add this card to the dusk deck and shuffle that. Okay, generator phase. Right, so we're going to get some more sick people. I can't afford to spend any more coal. I need it at a minimum to be able to heat red buildings. So in which case we are going to add, 4 malfunction cubes in here. Then we're going to roll these and take the larger number. 7. Generator's probably going to explode, but at least that will end our miserable existence. I'm going to reset that. Right, it is now the weather phase. Oh, I need 1 sick worker and 1 sick child. Okay. Weather phase. Yeah, everything is getting a lot colder. We get lots of advancement on our expedition, so that's quite nice. This expedition is complete. Not a fairy tale. The landscape must have been beautiful here before everything froze. Even now, the rows of thick pine trees still show a speck of green. There was a hut deeper in the woods, a narrow path leading up to it. A wolf's pelt welcomed us on the doorstep. A red cape hung above the cold fireplace inside, and a dead man lay on a bed with his woodcutter's axe held tight. Right. Let us forget. Gain 3 wood and 2 food. Okay, so yes, we will do that. 1, 2, 3 wood and a new expedition, 2 food. Okay. And this one advances as well to the end. Let's see. After a long and exhausting march, our scouts come back with news about Winterhome. They climbed up to the edge of the city. They stood there speechless, staring at the scene of utter destruction. Most of the buildings were destroyed, and the generator has exploded. Our people found some resources that weren't entirely covered by snow in the city of the dead. The recovered city chronicle describes the shortage of food and citizens' increasing despair, the squabbles, riots, and descent into anarchy, fights for dwindling resources, and the final moments of starvation. The last entry says, "God forgive us, we're eating the dead. There's no hope." If SO3 has not been revealed, place SO7 face up in the scenario display. If it is round 7 or earlier, which it is, gain 1 steam core, 3 wood, and 4 coal. Okay, well, that's pretty good. 1 steam core, 1, 2, 3 wood, and 4 coal. Well, that might keep us going for another round. 4 coal, good. Alright, place SO7 face up. SO3 has not been revealed, which it hasn't. Oh, what? If SO3 has not been revealed, place SO7 face up in the scenario display. Oh, where is SO7? SO4, SO3. Oh, here it is. Right, prepare for the storm. Winterhome fell during the storm. We must prepare or share their fate. The severity of the storm might forbid us from venturing outside. Stockpiles must be made. Each time you perform this action, spend an amount of food and or coal. Place the corresponding stockpile markers on this card to track food rations, 1 for every 3 food spent. Coal stock, 1 for every 2 coal spent. Once per round, engineer or worker. Oh, okay. So 2 coal or 3 food to add some stockpiles. Okay, right. Not sure how much of that we're going to be doing. But we have some resources that might get us into the next round at least. Alright, so time to move on to the next phase. Resolve sickness markers effects. Flip that and flip that. Alrighty, it is now the action phase again at the top of round 6. So, looking at this, I am going to, at the very least, need 1, 2, 3, 4 coal to be spent just to heat my red buildings, which is difficult indeed. And the very first thing I need to do, and what I probably need to do from this point forward, is to send an engineer to the generator to perform maintenance. Now that allows me to remove 5 cubes. And I believe when I remove these, they just go back into here. So I'm probably going to have to do that every turn to keep that under control. I'm going to take a build action. I am going to build with a worker. We are going to build another house here for 4 wood. I'm going to deconstruct this workshop. Don't particularly need it anymore, and I'm going to build a gathering post up here. Actually, I'm going to undo that action. I think I'm going to take back my 1 wood for this gathering post. I'm going to put this workshop back. Put this gathering post back. And get back the 4 wood for this house. Just reverse all that because I actually need to take this action for some upgrades. So what I'm going to do then is use a worker to clear some snow. And just checking what I've got here. Use the platform building. Perform this action. Food bonus. Yeah, okay, that's not too bad either. So I'm actually going to reverse that. I'm going to clear some snow and I'm going to get a far tile just here. Place that there. Right, so that's got 4 wood on it. 2, 3, 4. There. Because then when I take that build action, I could build the building there, I could put a gathering post here, and at a later date I can actually upgrade that gathering post to be a red building. So I think we're going to do that. We're going to build a gathering post, we're going to build a house. And that's about it at this point. Is there anything else I should build with that? If I took an engineer on the build action, I could actually perform 1 build and 1 upgrade. So perhaps I will do that because I can do that with the shared knowledge law here. You may use 2 construct sub-actions to upgrade a building by paying its upgrade cost. So I think we need to do that so that I can build a house here for 4 wood, and then build a and then perform an upgrade and upgrade this sawmill for 1 wood. Then I'm going to need to send a worker onto that sawmill to remove another tree for 3 wood, so that I can perform this action again to allow me to build a gathering post here and simultaneously upgrade it for a total of 2 wood. Then of course I can put a child there and a child there, so that gets 2 coal and 1 wood from this one. And I get 1, 2, 3 coal from the other one. Thankfully my workers are capable of using the workshop, because I will now upgrade the hothouse. That's going to cost 2 steam cores. Won't allow me to build a wall drill, but I don't think at the moment that that's too much of an issue. So we will get an upgraded hothouse here, which is going to cost 2 steam cores. Flip over the hothouse. So that's performed 1 upgrade action. I still may perform 1 upgrade action, or I could move the technology marker. We're currently researching natural fertilizer to make the hothouse a little bit better. But I don't think we will do that. I think I will put 2, or I think perhaps I only need 1 here because I do have a bit of food already. Oh no, but we've got to feed workers next, which I have 29 of, which is a bit of an issue. So we're going to send 2 workers onto the hothouse there for 18 food, and 7 plus 18 is 25 food. Right, I have 1 worker and 1 child remaining. I could continue to get some wood, although I think perhaps the most important thing at the moment... Oh, I forgot to heal people. So we're going to have more deaths from sickness happening here. That's not going to be good. Well, not much I can do about that right now. I think we're going to have to send a final worker to the cookhouse, spend a bit of that food to gain some hope here. Spend this one to the cookhouse. We're going to spend 3 food, 1, 2, 3, to gain some more hope. Otherwise that could very well spell our doom. We are then going to use this final child to go here and use this card here, gather resources card. So I'm going to have to increase the heating anyway, at least up to here, 1, 2, 3, 4, to keep our sickness levels down. So that's an additional 4 coal that I need to spend for that. So this child will gain this 2 coal, I think. No, I do not gain that coal, but I do get 6 food. So 1, 2, 3, flip over, 4, 5, 6. And I must discard this card. Right, I have to hope and see whether that's made any difference here. I do not think it will. Okay, so moving out of the action phase into the dusk phase, need to resolve a dusk card. Please, something reasonable. Oh no, work accidents. Alright, we do not have any care, so we gain 2 sick children per child maple used. So that's 6 sick children. We're currently on 5, so that will put us on 11 sick children, which is the total number of children that we have. So they're all sick. That's great. Right, they're probably going to die there as well. That is far too many for us to cure. Okay. Hunger phase. Decrease hunger by spending food. Resolve and reset the hunger marker. So I need to minus 14 from 28. Puts it on 14. No hunger consequences. Night phase. We must return all citizens. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We've got 12 and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 places to sleep. So we need 2 people to get sick. I'll just do workers at this point. Okay. Move the round marker. Not do the generator, so we need to add 5. Firstly, we get 1 sick worker and 1 sick engineer. We need to add 5 malfunction cubes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Need to roll these dice. And we have to add 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright. Reveal a weather card. Oh, it's a storm card. Reveal a weather card. So 1, 1, 1. 1, 1, 1. Move 3 and advance the storm by 1. Move 3. We don't have any expeditions. That's good. Okay, that's fine. Resolve sickness marker effects. So, whoop, yep. Child death, worker death. That's going to be all of our remaining hope. Minus 2 hope, minus 1 hope. That is minus total of 3 hope, which leaves us with no hope, and we lose the game. Right. Better luck next time, I suppose.